The United States is significantly escalating its military presence in the Middle East amid heightened tensions with Iran. The deployment of the USS Gerald R, the world's largest aircraft carrier, to join the USS Abraham Lincoln in the region signals a major show of force. This move comes as nuclear negotiations between Washington and Tehran appear stalled, with President Donald Trump repeatedly warning that failure to reach a deal could lead to severe consequences. On February 12, 2026, the New York Times reported that the USS Gerald R, previously operating in the Caribbean, was rerouted to the Middle East along with its escort ships. The carrier is not expected to return home until at least April or May. This extends its deployment significantly, as it was already months into service. The Ford will link up with the Abraham Lincoln Carrier Strike Group, which arrived in the Persian Gulf area in late January, to pressure Iran's regime over its nuclear ambitions and other actions. This dual-carrier presence doubles U.S. naval air power in a strategically vital area. The Abraham Lincoln carries advanced F-35 stealth fighters, ideal for penetrating defended airspace and targeting hardened sites. The Gerald R. complements this with F/A-18 Super Hornets for strike missions and EA-18G Growlers, specialized in electronic warfare. These Growlers are particularly useful against Iran's drone-heavy asymmetric tactics, capable of jamming and disrupting swarms of low-cost UAVs and decoys. Experts note that two carriers enable a much higher sortie generation rate, potentially 33% more aircraft launches per day, allowing sustained operations rather than limited strikes. This setup supports initial shock and awe airstrikes followed by prolonged campaigns to degrade Iran's air defenses, command structures, ballistic missile facilities, and other military assets. The backdrop to this buildup includes Iran's defiance during ongoing nuclear talks. Trump has emphasized the need for a meaningful agreement to curb Iran's nuclear program, warning repeatedly that refusal would bring, very traumatic or bad things for Tehran. In mid-February statements, he stressed that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon and hinted at regime change as a possible outcome if diplomacy fails. U.S. envoys participated in talks in Geneva around February 17, but progress remains elusive, with Secretary of State Marco Rubio describing a deal as very hard to do. Iran's actions have fueled U.S. concerns. Satellite imagery shows rapid reconstruction of ballistic missile facilities damaged in Operation Midnight Hammer in June 2025, a U.S. strike that targeted key nuclear sites like Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan using B-2 bombers and Tomahawk missiles. Despite the setback, Iran has continued advancing its missile program, reportedly producing up to 2,000 ballistic missiles capable of carrying nuclear warheads. Additionally, Iran's brutal suppression of nationwide protests that erupted in late 2025 has drawn sharp condemnation. The regime's crackdown, ordered by Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei, resulted in massive casualties. Reports from Iran International indicate over 36,500 deaths during intense violence on January 8 and 9, 2026, far exceeding initial estimates and marking one of the deadliest protest suppressions in history. Trump had threatened strong action if executions or killings continued, viewing this as direct defiance. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, or IRGC, has responded with displays of defiance, including, chants of death to America on their vessels signaling a clear readiness for confrontation. Tehran relies on asymmetric warfare, layered air defenses like those Russian S-300 and S-400 systems, Shahed drones, electronic jamming fast boats, and proxies such as the Houthis. In the event of a conflict, Iran could try to saturate United States defenses in the Strait of Hormuz, or, target regional bases. The United States strategy counters this by, forcing Iran to divide its resources. With two carriers, one group could focus on defense while the other launches strikes. F-35s would likely lead, neutralizing air defenses and deep underground targets. F/A-18 jets provide follow-on support, close air support, and anti-drone capabilities. Escorted by destroyers and submarines, they add Tomahawk cruise missiles for long-range precision strikes. E-2D Hawkeye aircraft offer advanced surveillance and coordination. Planning suggests a multi-week campaign, not just a single raid like Midnight Hammer. Reuters reports indicate preparations for sustained operations targeting security infrastructure, regime facilities, and military command, really aimed at crippling capabilities without necessarily requiring ground troops. While a ground invasion remains unlikely, all options are, well, under consideration. Iran faces a pretty precarious position. Retaliation against United States bases or allies, like Israel, Qatar, Jordan, or Bahrain, risks an overwhelming response from nearby carriers. Diverting drones or missiles to bases actually weakens attacks on naval assets. Recent Iranian statements suggest a slight softening, with officials claiming the ball is in America's court for sincerity in talks, possibly a response to the mounting pressure. As of February 19, 2026, the Gerald R. Ford was transiting toward the region with additional United States aircraft, F-35s, F-22s and F-16s, redeployed to bolster forces. This armada really underscores Washington's commitment to preventing a nuclear-armed Iran and addressing broader threats. Whether it leads to a diplomatic breakthrough or escalation remains uncertain, but the military posture makes clear that the United States is prepared for decisive action if needed.